Commerce Infrastructure Project. And we're also going to spend a little time at the end of our meeting looking at the interlocal boundary service area agreement. That's basically an annexation study in collaboration with the county. Mayor, do you have anything you'd like to say before we start?
No, I'm just glad that you're all here. This is an exciting time for the city. I know this is a conversation that has been talked about briefly over the course of several years, but I'm glad that we finally get to have a real conversation to get this party started. Welcome all. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm here.
And Dave Matthews, who is our owner's representative, is going to be conducting the meeting, so he's here, and he will introduce his team and also our design engineers.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming here this evening. I'm Dave Matthews with Matthews Consulting, owner's representative for the city of Lake Worth, and we're here to present a presentation on Park of Commerce Phase 1 project. And with that, what I'd like to do is introduce our team. So again, I'm Dave Matthews with Matthews Consulting. I've got Rebecca Travis with Matthews Consulting. I've got Courtney Marshall with Matthews Consulting. Tom, you want to introduce yourself to Mike Bruce, the design engineers for the project?
Tom Biggs with Mike Bruce Associates.
And then we also have Group 1 who's going to be in charge of the right-of-way acquisitions. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name is Bob Koch. That's Brotman. And I'm Tim Burns. Nice to meet you.
So this is the core of our team that's going to be working on this project for the city. Our presentation outline tonight, I'm going to go over the project team, the conceptual plan. We have some example projects that we want to show you, some Palm Beach County coordination updates, right-of-way acquisitions, our project schedule, upcoming project deliverables, and then we're going to have a question and answer session after we go through our presentation for everybody. City's project team, Matthews Consulting is going to be the owner's representative. We're going to be responsible for project management, land acquisitions, community outreach, quality assurance reviews, construction administration, and inspections. Mach Bruce is the engineer for the project. They're going to be responsible for the engineering survey, the boundary survey for each individual property, preliminary design, final design, permitting, and bidding and construction assistance. Matthews Consulting will also utilize the firm Group 1 to perform the right-of-way land acquisitions. Again, we have Group 1 staff that just introduced themselves. Some of you may have already talked to Les and Tim during the soft contacts for the project. And the city has put together a nice website that you can go to with www.lakeworth.org. And if you go and select the business tab right here, and then it'll take you to the Park of Commerce tab right here. It provides a summary of some information for this project, Park of Commerce. So if everybody wants to write down the website, it's www.lakeworth.org. Then select the business tab, and then select Park of Commerce. Okay, so that's the city's website. The city has also prepared a newsletter that provides summary information for the Park of Commerce. This was sent out in February of this year, and we also have a copy of it on the back table if you'd like to get a copy of that. It also provides some fast facts and some other information for the Park of Commerce project. Project description. Phase 1 of the Park of Commerce project consists of infrastructure improvements on Boutwell Road between 10th Avenue North and 2nd Avenue South. We also have a nice map over here after the meeting if you want to take a look at it. It gives you an overall view of what the improvements are going to be on Boutwell Road. The project will entail a complete overhaul of the infrastructure and roadway, including stormwater, potable water, sanitary sewer, electric, telecommunications, and a new boulevard-style roadway with lighting, landscaping, and pedestrian bikeway access. So all of the infrastructure out there is going to be improved. With that, I'd like to go ahead and bring Tom Biggs up here with Mach Bruce, who's going to talk a little bit about the design section.
Thanks, Dave. If you look at this drawing over here, you'll notice that there are 5 areas in the conceptual plan. You have islands, or tree islands in the roadway, and then there's the rest. The balance of the roadway is a left turn lane for access to properties on either side. So in these sections, this particular section that Dave has up now is the roadway section where there is a tree island in the middle, and you can see that lighting on both sides. It's a 12-lane driving section, driving lanes on each side, a 5-foot walkway sidewalk on the east side, and then an 8-foot sidewalk on the west side, and then a bioswale west of the walkway. And that's the section essentially where there's a tree island. Where there's a left turn lane, which is the balance of the roadway, you see the tree island obviously goes away, and then trees get moved to the outside with the left turn lane in the middle. The intention is the left turn lane is going to be a different pavement color and texture, probably be a stamped concrete. Those decisions yet to be made, but it'll be a different color and texture than the driving lanes, so it's easily discernible to the driving public that that's the left turn lane. I'll be happy to answer any questions that have happened.
Sounds good. We've got some example projects of some roadways in Palm Beach County, and this isn't going to be the exact roadway that you're going to see, but there's parts of the roadway that we want to show you, which is going to be similar to this project. This is Spencer Drive, which is between Okeechobee Boulevard and Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard in the city of West Palm Beach. What this photograph is showing is the turn lane, which is going to be right here, this decorative pavement section. It's going to look similar to this. So at the turn lanes, and there's approximately 7 turn lanes, that's going to have this decorative pavement section. It's going to be something like this right here. I've got some more photos, which is just going to show you the decorative pavement section. Now this road had the decorative pavement section down the entire length of roadway. Of course, we're not doing that here. We're going to have some landscape medians. That just shows you what that looks like. This is another project, Indian Creek Parkway. This is between Central Boulevard and Military Trail in the town of Jupiter. What we're showing you with these photos are the royal palms that are located here, which is going to be in the landscape median. So this is what you're going to see here. You're going to see these royal palms, and of course there's going to be some other vegetation. Here's some more views of the royal palms that are going to be down the median. This is the Max Planck Research Institute. These photos that we're going to show you here, this shows you the bioswale, which is going to be located here, which this is going to be this 10-foot section here, which is going to be on the west side of the project of Boutwell Road. So these pictures here are just showing you this bioswale, and this is used for stormwater drainage improvements. So this gives you some more pictures of it. Here's the bioswale down through here. Boom, again, the bioswale. Okay, I want to give you a Palm Beach County update. You know, as everybody knows, Boutwell Road is ownership of Palm Beach County, and when this project moves forward, the eventual transfer of Boutwell Road from Palm Beach County to Lake Worth is being planned. So when this project moves forward, that road is going to become a City of Lake Worth road and no longer be a Palm Beach County road. Palm Beach County, though, they're still going to design the intersection of Boutwell Road and 10th Avenue. 10th Avenue is going to stay a county road. Palm Beach County will select bids and pay for construction of Boutwell Road, 10th Avenue intersection. And Palm Beach County, in collaboration with Lake Worth, is submitting an economic development grant for the Park of Commerce project. And the deadline for this is October 17, 2014. That's a very important date for us because we need to have all these right-of-way land acquisitions completed before then so we can be eligible for this grant. Again, right-of-way acquisition. Without the right-of-way acquisitions, this project can't be built, okay? The existing right-of-way along Boutwell Road varies between 50 and 60 feet. The right-of-way section that Mont Bruce is proposing is 70 feet here, along with a 10-foot for a bioswale. So we're looking at a total of 80 feet, okay? So it's going to be important that we acquire the right-of-way needed for the project in order for it to get built for this section. So a little bit of the update. The introductory letter of interest was sent out to the property owners along Boutwell Road. The city sent out a newsletter that highlighted the Park of Commerce project that we talked about. There's a copy of it on the back. Group 1 began initiating soft contacts with the property owners regarding the right-of-way acquisition. Now we will not know how much right-of-way will be needed until Mont Bruce completes the 35% design, which is going to be July 1st, 2014. So when that is completed, we're going to know the width of right-of-way that we're going to need from certain property owners. We're not going to need right-of-way from all property owners. It's mainly going to be on the west side where we're gonna be looking for right-of-way, but we don't know the width yet, okay? Once the amount of right-of-way required is known for each property, then appraisals will commence, and we want to negotiate contracts by the end of September 2014, so we can take all of these contracts to the first commission meeting in October, so then we can be eligible for this grant that we're talking about. This schematic drawing right here shows you the parcels that are adjacent to Boutwell Road, between 10th Avenue North and 2nd Avenue North. There's approximately 27 parcels. But even being with 27 parcels, a lot of these parcels are owned by the same individuals or by companies, so it really equates down to about 15 parcels in this area, okay? And what we're looking at mainly for the right-of-way is going to be on this west side here, is where we're going to be looking for right-of-way acquisitions. And where they're building the new kind of intersection roadways, we're going to be looking for some turnouts, so we're going to need little cutouts in some of those sections on the east. So most of the right-of-way is on the west, a few little turnouts on the east for where the roadway intersections are going to be. I'd like to go through our flow chart for right-of-way land acquisitions. We've identified all property owners along Boutwell Road. We've performed all the title searches. The city hired a company called The Fund, and all the title searches have been performed in the area. We've started to initiate the soft contacts with the property owners. And we're scheduling the stakeholder meeting, which is here, what we're having right now. We're preparing the topography survey of Boutwell Road. You may have seen the surveyors out there working, paint marks going on, the survey's going on right now. We're going to be preparing the individual boundary survey for each property impacted by the right-of-way acquisition. We're going to complete the 35% design, which will confirm the amount of additional right-of-way required. We're going to be performing the appraisal reports. They're going to be prepared for each property. Only the properties where we need right-of-way acquisition for, and then we're going to have right-of-way land acquisition negotiations by Group 1, and then we want to execute all contracts by the end of September 2014. So I keep hitting this date because it's going to be very important for this project, for the city on this grant that they're trying to get. This is our overall project schedule. If you can't see it too good, I've also got a copy on the wall that you can take a look at on the way out of here. The overall project is 31 months. We started notice to proceed the beginning of January 7th. Right now, we're in the preliminary design stage. The preliminary design is going to be completed at the end of October 2014. We're then going to be moving into the final design stage, which has a 13-month time frame. That's going to start at the beginning of May 2014, and that's going to end at the end of January 2015. Then we're going to, of course, be doing the acquisitions, which I'm showing you here, and we want to be done with those at the end of September 2014. The project will then go into a bidding state. We've got 3 months here for bidding. Then construction duration, which everybody's going to be wants to be aware of. There's going to be a 15-month construction time frame for this project. So we're looking at starting at the beginning of May 2015 and having that beautiful roadway section over there built by the end of July 2016. So before you know it, 2016 will be here. So this is our overall project schedule for the project. Upcoming project deliverables. The topographical survey that will show the existing right-of-way limits. We're also going to be performing a soils investigation in the area. Preliminary design report is being prepared by Mock Roos. It's going to be completed by April 21st, 2014. It's going to show the roadway geometric plan, the stormwater concept plan, the landscape concept plan, the water main improvements, the wastewater improvements, the roadway lining concept plan, and it's going to have a construction cost estimate. Once this is approved by Matthews Consulting along with the city, then Mock Roos is going to have the green light to start the design. And our project construction budget for the entire project is $4.5 million for this project. So with that, we're going to have a question and answer period. People can, of course, get up, take a look at the drawings. If you want to ask a question, that may be the easier way. We also got this section drawing up here, which shows the section with the median and also the section with the turn lane. And we're here to answer any questions you may have.
Are you confident that you're going to get the right of way and the acquisitions that you need off that level?
I'm hoping. Are you guys going to help us out with the right of ways? I mean, we got to work as a team here.
Yeah, we're not on the level.
I think once we get into it a little bit more, find out, how much right-of-way we need, meet with the residents, the property owners a little bit more, and show you a little bit more of what we're needing. I mean, we have to work as a team to try to get these right-of-way acquisitions from the property owners.
That's mostly where the trailers are, isn't it?
Now, the trailer's on the east side. We're not really looking for right-of-way on
Oh, I
the
see, so
east.
it's mostly the west side?
Correct. We're looking for right-of-way on the west side.
Warehouses? Are they homes or warehouses?
It's all
It's all commercial buildings down through there.
If you look along the right of way, you can see most of the land to the top, which is the west side, is unimproved. There's only a few sites that actually have buildings on them. So a lot of it is unimproved land.
Yeah.
So it's up to here. Our storage, deep this bad. That property belongs to Patton, and you've got the property that belongs to Harbor and Lynn, goes along that corner, so really, you only have a half a dozen people you got.
Correct, and remember, the right-of-way right now is 50 to 60 feet.
I was gonna say, how far
We're only
back?
looking to go to 80 feet, and 10 feet of that could be an easement with the bioswale. So we're not looking for a lot of land to get this project completed.
Now, on the bioswale that you're talking about, is there any reason you just can't let that be shared as part of the easement for them, so you don't have to actually purchase that property?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, perfect. So then you really can subtract that 10 feet from what, so you're really talking about 10, 15 feet.
Correct.
Should be a no-brainer, they should kiss your feet, because we need the improvement in there.
We need your help in convincing.
If I might too, I just wanted to just say something real quick. I know, living in the community for 18 years, I know this has been an ongoing topic of conversation in regards to the Park of Commerce. And I know that there have been, through the years, lots of promises and lots of, inactivity over the course of the years. We're finally trying to step up here and say, we've got our act together here, we're doing everything. But a lot of things were promised. When I came into this world of lovely politics, I found out that a lot of things that were talked about that were going to be happening, none of the groundwork was done to make those things possible. For example, the EDA grant. I know that in the past, people have gone and said, oh, we're going for this grant money. We didn't even have the equipment, really, right? GIS system, and we didn't have any of the state-of-the-art technology that was needed to get ourselves to apply for these grants, because if you're not shovel-ready, you can't apply for them. And that's been a big issue that the city has, so we've been working really hard. And I want to thank William and Dolores and Larry and everybody, and for getting our acts together here. Making ourselves, bringing in professional staff and a real team, a great commission that's supportive of business in our community, and we're putting our money where our mouth is now. We're saying, okay, let's get this thing to happen. But I understand there's been things over the years too, but we have to have honest conversations. I was hoping I'd see more faces, in here tonight to talk about this, because we got to start opening the lines of communication. We've got to see and make sure we're doing what everybody wants to have done. We don't want to just come in here and say, well, boom, we're doing this. You guys have been there for a long time. We have to work together, but we're committed to getting this thing done. We've already invested in all the infrastructure that we need to do our jobs, to get the monies in to make this happen. So now we need your help. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And this is long ago, I was on the committee a couple of years ago, we were talking about the viability of the Park of Commerce. I was part of the annexation and all that. So, this is long overdue. There's a lot of property that can be developed there. And God knows we need the jobs in the town of Lake Forest.
We need the jobs desperately, and we need the tax, but we need everything. But we also need for the people that have invested there for a long time too, we need for them to be able to say, hey, we did this for the right reasons as well.
Well, there's a huge safety issue on that road with people that are on bicycles or on foot, and that's especially apparent in the morning when my men come to work, because some of them come in at 6 o'clock, and it's dark now, as you know that. Yeah, the sooner the better. The sooner the better. Ram this through, get going.
You got our approval.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll turn it over to William. He's got another little presentation.
If you read our newsletter, there was another item placed on the agenda for us to talk about, is that we're working in collaboration with the county to look at a study of what areas that are not within the city's boundaries now may be appropriate for annexation later. It was mentioned in the newsletter here. I have a larger map on the other side of it here, but do we have just this?
No, it's just.
Well, the areas that are in sort of this deep color are properties that were not annexed in way back maybe 7 or 8 years ago as part of an aggressive annexation push where people voluntarily annexed into the city. The area that's in the area that's the actual area of the Department of Commerce. There's probably maybe 35 or 40 properties that are not actually in the city. Some of those property owners would like to be annexed in, take advantage of some of the incentives we have for development. Our development process is far quicker, far more liberal, and far cheaper than the county. Not spiting the county, but we have a lot in our new land development regulations that facilitate development, facilitate your working with the city. Also, there's some benefits from the city standpoint. You pay less for your utilities if you're actually in the city versus out. And so this annexation study, which takes place over the course of the next year and a half, is studying viability and feasibility of that area being annexed into the city. If we are successful working with all of you and making a change to our comprehensive plan as well as the comprehensive plan of the county, then individual people who want to come in with their properties can come in irrespective of where they are located. It doesn't force you to be annexed in. It just facilitates a much quicker, easier, more simple way to be annexed in into the city. As you may have seen, some of the annexations that have happened over time have created what's called enclaves, or areas that are basically totally surrounded by areas of the city. That is technically not really the way you want to go about annexations, but what the study would allow is that this person, say here, wanted to be annexed in, and their neighbor did not want to be, they could. And that one little island could happen. We've already approved a resolution with the city commission, and that's been sent to the county. If you have questions about the county side of it, fortunately we have Patricia Ben here, who is working with us from the county side of it. Many municipalities in the county have actually put these in place and been very successful. Village of Palm Springs has put one in. Green Acres has worked on one. I'm not sure it's completely finished. And it facilitated a lot of people being able to take advantage of the municipal level development review and process. And as I mentioned earlier, we've done an exhaustive study, and we are the least expensive place in the entire county to develop a project. It's also it's actually the fastest process as long as you're not asking for a compound amendment. We can do a whole project from beginning to end, from a development review standpoint, in 90 to 100 days, which is essentially unheard of in the development world. And I've been on the development side as well as the municipal side. So we feel like that's a huge incentive to encourage people that want to come into the city and work with us, because also the county zoning is far more restrictive and does not allow the types of uses that many of you have voiced you'd like to see happen along Wakeworth Road, 10th Avenue North, and some other areas that would potentially be in the city. And this is actually, it's a very small kind of area that you don't get the attention you really deserve, because the county is huge, and all of this area out here is out of Lake Park Shores or a Village of Palm Springs. You're kind of left out on your own. And oftentimes, many of you do call us thinking that you're actually in the city, and you're not. And we send you over to Vista Parkway or someplace that's other than us to get some assistance, and not always the people that are there are really overly familiar with what's happening in this little area of the county, because they're really responsible for the whole county at large. We'll be having some more public meetings about this process as it moves along. We'll be sending out newsletters or invitations to all the property owners that are affected as we move along. The planning staff, who's led by Maxine DeCosta in the back, and then Barbara Alterman, our city attorney, who's here, dealing with our planning and zoning issues, will be helping us facilitate this process. We hope to have it finished sometime in 2016 in conjunction with this roadway work. So the road will be completed, and then also the project, the annexation study will be in place to help facilitate people to be annexed in, and then actually take advantage of the improvements that we've made. And I will try to answer any questions that you might have, and if I can't, then I'm going to point at Patricia, Maxim, and Barbara for some assistance. But keep in mind, this does not force anyone to be annexed in. It is just a study and overview to see what are the possibilities and the feasibility of it. And if it is adopted, then people can come in on their own voluntarily. Are there any questions? Are there other questions not related to what we talked about tonight that people want to ask? Since we're all here, we have probably 2/3 of the city's departments represented and a whole bunch of other people. So there may be questions you have that we might be able to answer that may be on your mind. Well then, I really appreciate you coming out. If you want to send us emails or contact me, I have my business card here. I can give that to you if you think of things later after you leave. The contact for myself, my department, which is sustainability, as well as Mr. Matthews and his group, are on the website on the Department of Commerce. I'm sure you'll have questions as things move along. And so keep in touch with us and look out for future notifications as we get closer to our summer deadline and also the adoption of the contracts, tentatively, hopefully set for October.
Are there any more plans for more beautification projects down in the city?
Not that are city-sponsored. One of the components of our new land development regulations is that if you do a project that goes above and beyond the minimum requirements of the code, we give you credit for it for like additional height or additional by right development. For instance, the Village of Lake Worth project on the corner of Lake Worth Road and Boutwell is putting in about double the required landscaping in order to give a benefit in order to get to the third floor. They've also proffered a entrance sign to the Department of Commerce, so there will be a gateway sign there. We have another project coming in that will be putting a gateway sign on the north end of the project, so when you come in, you'll actually know that you're somewhere, as opposed to right now you think you're in a cow pasture or you're not quite sure where you are. And the landscaping incentive is being taken advantage of by probably 4 or 5 projects that have already been approved, and we are encouraging it greatly with other projects that are coming along. You may see signs being posted soon of a new project that will, actually 2, that will affect the Department of Commerce. And I think because we're already in the site plan review committee process, we can actually announce those. There is, maybe it's best to look over here. There's a site plan that's been submitted for a new business on this location here. And then we have another larger one that's actually on this parcel here coming in. And we've been in negotiations for a while on having something come in on this property that was previously owned by Marvin Lynn and is now owned by a new person. And so and this is where that project I was talking about, where the apartment complex is being built. They have another one that we're coming in, that's been submitted, that will be down the road a little bit next to the retirement home. So there are things already happening because of the city's adoption of LDRs, having a city commission and the mayor who is supportive of development, having staff that can actually help facilitate this project. So I think in the next year or and a half or more, you're going to see a dramatic change in the Department of Commerce in this area of the city.
So what is somebody planning on doing on the corner of 10th and Boutwell? Because having that improved would make a huge improvement for trucks getting in and out.
Yes.
And obviously, if somebody's going to build there, then I would think that you would go ahead and take care of that intersection first.
Well, part of what we're doing, and it is supported by the county administration, but not publicly, because we are working with the elected officials of the county to get this intersection back in the county's capital improvement plan for 2015, which would entail improvement of the intersection in tandem with our Beltwell Road project. This project, before it can be approved, will be dedicating 12 feet on the north side of 10th Avenue and 30 feet on its east side for the right-of-way to facilitate the whole intersection being improved. That has already been discussed with that property, and that they will dedicate that land over, either through an easement or a straight dedication. It's a mixed-use project that involves some commercial retail, possibly a hotel, and then also some residential.